There's so much energy in the room. Hey, it's great to see some familiar faces. A couple folks I haven't seen before. I'm Don Howard. I have the privilege of leading the James Irvine Foundation. Before we do anything more, I just want to have everybody let some of that energy out. You're all here to support and celebrate the leaders that have won these awards. Let's give them a big cheer. Really want to thank you for coming. Welcome. This is our event to celebrate the innovators who have won our 2024 James Irvine Foundation Leadership Awards. It really is one of my favorite nights of the year. It's a chance to actually celebrate folks who are doing the good work, making change happen in our world. There's so much around us that can be depressing and feel so weighty. I love tonight because we get to lift up folks who are making the world a better place, particularly here in California. So let's start. I have a chance to kick off the program with special remarks from Congresswoman Doris Matsui, who's a respected leader and dedicated advocate for the people of California. Her message tonight not only honors our distinguished award recipients, but also reinforces the importance of collaborative leadership and community engagement. So without further ado, let's turn our attention to Congresswoman Matsui.
Good evening, everyone. It's wonderful to join you tonight as we honor the recipients of the 2024 James Irvine Foundation Leadership Awards. This evening, we come together to recognize 9 outstanding leaders from 6 organizations. Their dedication and innovative approaches have uplifted communities, setting a shining example of what we can achieve when we unite in purpose and action. Each of these leaders has shown an extraordinary commitment to improving people's lives. Their solutions address some of the most pressing issues we face today, from addressing the teacher shortage to transforming the justice system to confront AAPI hate. Their achievements and their leadership are beacons of hope and progress across our great state. Now, as a Congresswoman, I've always believed that leadership is about listening to your community, learning, and working hard to deliver results. Each of us who have the privilege of serving others can take each day to lift others up and make sure we continue building more inclusive, dynamic arenas across industries. California is a place that has strong community bonds and connections. So it is about harnessing the power of our communities, our collective knowledge, and translating that to meaningful action. The individuals we honor tonight embody this philosophy. So, to our honorees, I extend my heartfelt congratulations. Your work is a testament to the power of innovation, dedication, and community-focused leadership. You are not just shaping a better California, you are setting a standard for the nation. To the James Irvine Foundation and the many wonderful guests here tonight, thank you for supporting these leaders and for your commitment to fostering positive change. Together, let us continue to learn from one another and be inspired. Thank you.
I want to thank Congresswoman Matsui for her inspiring remarks and for her unwavering commitment to expanding opportunity for the people of California. Before we introduce this year's award recipients, I want to acknowledge a couple of special guests. I know Betty Yee and Josh Becker are both in the room. You'd say hello to both of them. Thank you so much for coming. And we also thank you for your leadership. It's often not a thankful role to be in, either of you. You make the state a better place, and we appreciate you doing it. Now, it's my privilege to introduce the chair of the James Irvine Foundation Board of Directors, Tim Rios. Tim, who's been on our board for 12 years, brings his vision, experience, and heart for community service into our boardroom. I'll have to say, as a fellow board member and CEO, he has been a mentor and a friend and an advisor to me. Tim Rios, over to you.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening. All right. Well, very good evening to you. I'm so happy to be here with you tonight, with you to celebrate these visionary leaders. As Dawn mentioned, I currently serve as the Foundation's board chair, and I've had the distinct privilege of participating in the Leadership Awards Selection Committee during the 2016 to 2019 award cycles. And I'd like to say that it was some of the best time that I've held, that I've served at Irvine as part of these leadership awards. The leadership awards are always meaningful to me, my colleagues on the board, and the Irvine staff. It's more than just an awards program. It's a window through which the foundation learns about the effective and transformative work taking place throughout our great state, often illuminating areas outside of our primary grant-making focus. They are also an opportunity for us to celebrate and elevate those passionate leaders whose work is improving the lives of Californians. This year is especially noteworthy because this group includes the recipient of the Foundation's 100th Leadership Award. Isn't that awesome? Applause for that. Of course, we won't pick any single organization or person to be honored as such, so we're just going to say, we're going to call each of them the 100th Leadership Award recipient. How about that? Irvine is deeply committed to supporting these leaders. The Foundation's support goes much beyond acknowledging what they have achieved. It is a belief in what is yet to come. Whether it's calling successful initiatives, replicating effective strategies, whether it's scaling successful initiatives, replicating effective strategies, or shaping policy. Tonight, as we celebrate their achievements, we are also celebrating the potential of what can be accomplished together. Leaders, your work is crucial in building a brighter, more equitable future for our state, and we are proud to support you in those efforts. Congratulations, and thank you for everything that you do to make a lasting positive impact on the lives of Californians. Now, I'd like to turn it over to my colleague and friend, Paulette Brown-Hinds, who will present this year's Leadership Award recipients. Paulette is a board member, and most importantly, the chair of the Leadership Awards Selection Committee. Paulette?
Good evening, everyone. Thanks, Tim. Now it's time to celebrate these incredible leaders. We will be showing a brief video highlighting each recipient and their work, so please hold your applause until the video ends.
There is a teacher shortage in California.
500,000 students enter a classroom with an under-credentialed teacher.
So oftentimes the students are not getting access to grade level content.
There is a workforce that already exists in the schools themselves. And if they were just provided an option to pursue a teaching credential, many of them would take it and we would solve this shortage.
I am a single mom, and I work 2 full-time jobs, and it's a struggle just to make ends meet. I am a paraeducator, and it's basically a fancy name for a tutor. To go from being a paraeducator to being a fully certified teacher, you have to first obtain a bachelor's degree. To study full-time would not be feasible for me.
What if you didn't have to choose between work and school? You could get your degree by working, and that's what our apprenticeship degree is all about. Reach University is a teacher's college. We're really focused on all non-teaching folks that are operating in a school building, so anywhere from paraprofessionals to office assistants, because they've already chosen to work in schools.
Typically, there is a disconnect between theory and practice. Here, they work their regular job during the day, and in the evenings, they will attend seminar-based discussions that are meant to be applied in the classroom that next day.
Learning about something and physically doing it are two completely different things, and Reach allows you to do both simultaneously.
Whether you are a paraprofessional coming in to get your bachelor's degree, or maybe you even already have your master's degree and you want to become a school administrator, we have developed a pipeline.
Reach University really helped with targeting people from a diverse background and helping out with costs. That's really big. I mean, especially when we're talking about BIPOC communities.
Folks can attend our bachelor's program for $900 per year.
No problem. How you doing, little dude? You good? Yeah? You ready for class? Okay.
These employees are some of the most dedicated people in our school system. And the Reach University program pulls some of the people that have some of the most influence on our students up into those ranks, where I believe they belong.
I'm at the end of the process of getting a bachelor's degree. After that, I will be an instructional support specialist. I would not need to continue to work 2 jobs because the promotion will increase my pay. Reach is providing access to people like me who wouldn't normally have access to opportunities. I'll be in your class next, okay? Okay, I'll see you later.
Reach remedies a lot of the barriers that have prevented many folks from becoming teachers.
You can stay in your community and become a teacher.
I mean, you really can't get anything better than that.
So please join us in Elizabeth Baham and Héctor Camacho Jr., Provost and Senior Vice President of Reach University. All right. Thank you.
When you go into the system, they ask you, what did you do wrong? Where are you from? Are you from a gang? Essentially what they're asking is, what is wrong with you? When we criminalize young people, we're communicating to them that they are bad, that is not simply a manifestation of their conduct, but essentially is their essence. As a young person who had this happen to him, it was demoralizing to be viewed as a bad kid. I did not get better because of my experience in the so-called justice system. I needed to get out of that system to get better. Good evening, everyone. How many of you guys know somebody that's been in jail, who's been incarcerated? I'm sure some of those people could benefit from more opportunities. The work that I lead at the National Center for Youth Law, or NICL, is really focused on identifying issues in collaboration with communities who are most impacted by the system. We develop policy solutions, campaign to pass these policies, and once passed, we work with these very same communities to implement them at the local level. I help judges and prosecutors understand why kids are different, why when kids mess up, it's not because they can't change or they can't learn. Since I've been an attorney in the last 11 years, I've helped write and pass 23 different laws in California, ranging from abolishing life without parole sentences for juveniles to removing prosecutors' powers to charge kids as adults.
NICL has been transformative in the youth justice space, making sure that jurisdictions were doing their best to make sure kids were safe and kids that shouldn't be incarcerated were not incarcerated.
I was 15 when I committed my crime. I was a young man trying to prove a point and looking for instant gratification. Ultimately, that led me to committing one of the worst decisions in my life. I served approximately 4 years in 2 institutions. Frankie Guzman motivated me to pursue my bachelor's in political science and international affairs, and I'm currently in the process of submitting law school applications. I'll get started right now. I'm a regional specialist with the Office of Youth and Community Restoration, and we treat youth through a public health lens, so we try to...
My team and I have been helping community groups divert young people at the point of contact with police through evidence-based programs and treatment models.
We know through the work of Nickel that diversion is the best thing that we can do for the youth and for our communities.
We have worked on budget advocacy that have invested about $60 million in community-based programs to provide kids these opportunities that I feel like I needed as a kid.
I'm a family man. I'm busy raising 2 beautiful daughters, and I'm bringing a lot of what I wish I could have experienced as a kid.
R3.
I hope to demonstrate to current incarcerated youth that the sky's the limit. You could reach your fullest potential.
The reason why I do the work that I do is not only because I think it's wrong to punish kids the way we do, but because I'm one of those kids. It's personal to me. When I was 5 years old, my 16-year-old brother was arrested for murder, tried as an adult, and given a life sentence. And for me, that was the original trauma that I experienced. It took me many years, including my own incarceration, to dig myself out of that hole. Yeah.
Whatever happened to your brother?
Thank you for asking that. So I worked on a law called the Youth Offender Parole Law, which basically requires the state to no longer focus on the crime that you committed as a kid, but how you've changed. So after serving 33 years in prison, my brother came home in 2018 at age 50. When my brother was able to get out because of a law that I helped write and pass, it was too real. All he ever needed was an opportunity to show that he had changed. And when you give people hope that they can come out one day and live a better life, they will rise to that challenge.
As Senior Director for Youth Justice for the National Center for Youth Law, Frankie Guzman is transforming the justice system by centering youth voices and outcomes. Congratulations, Frankie.
The Asian American and Pacific Islander community in LA is absolutely growing. These are folks that come from Japan, Korea, China, India, Pakistan, Bangladesh, everywhere from Hawaii all the way to Fiji. But when we look at our city council, Senate, and even in Congress, we just don't have the representation that reflects our numbers. Part of our responsibility is to build power, right? To have our voice and to have a say. API Equity Alliance is a coalition of over 40 community-based organizations that together serve and represent the 1.6 million Asian Americans and Pacific Islanders in Los Angeles. We've been working to develop resources that our community members need. During the COVID pandemic, we saw the rise of anti-Asian hate. In February of 2020, a middle school child was outside on the schoolyard. Another kid approached him and said, "You're a COVID carrier, go back to China." And he was then punched in the face and head 20 times and had to be taken to the hospital.
When I pick up my boy around the 4 o'clock, he was really, really sad. At the same time, I can see that his bruise on his right eye. He said, you know, nobody listen to Asians because I'm Asian. So they're not really listening to me. My heart was really broken.
We held a press conference with our elected officials to say this would not be tolerated. LA is against hate. And so we created Stop AAPI Hate. We put out the form, and within a couple of weeks, we got several hundred incident reports. The number of hate incidents we've received are staggering. 11,000 hate incidents from all across the country. And sadly, that's just the tip of the iceberg.
That type of like a reporting platform, it helps me and my community a lot. Because we feel like, you know, there is a place we can seek help and we can get support.
Manjusha has been an advocate and fighter for data collection and making sure that members of the AAPI community were represented so government in particular could respond appropriately.
We've always been a coalition that works with other marginalized communities. And that's really for us about building power.
I want you to engage today, ask questions, take notes so that you're ready to vote in the upcoming election. Thank you all.
When the AAPI Equity Alliance found out that AAPI communities, Koreatown and others, didn't have voting centers, they stepped up to make sure that voter suppression didn't happen in those communities.
Before the incident, I tried to be unseen and not get hurt. But after this incident, I want to be seen and to advocate myself and my community for a safer world.
There's a lot of work to be done to know and understand what's happening in our communities, and then bring about belonging for significant populations.
Manjusha Kulkarni is confronting hate and discrimination against AAPI communities with data, partnerships, and policy solutions, serving at the helm of AAPI Equity Alliance. Congratulations.
San Diego County is one of the largest refugee resettlements in the state. We have individuals from over 100 countries speaking over 70 different languages. We're talking about communities that have limited access to education, to healthcare, to nutrition.
We are part of the community that we serve. We're hearing the needs of the community. We have a model that is co-created with the community to respond to those needs.
The Center for Community Health has been able to develop community-driven programs and initiatives that address health disparities. Our focus includes nutrition security, food justice, immigrant and refugee health.
One of the projects of the Center for Community Health is the Refugee Health Unit. What the Refugee Health Unit has done is to bring together leaders from ethnic community-based organizations to have a common goal. And one of those is shared funding. There's no competition for the same grants. We have community health workers, behavioral health specialists, housing navigators, and youth leaders. They're coming to share challenges and support each other and provide resources.
The Center for Community Health provides wraparound services for our newcomers, be it immigrants or refugees or asylum seekers. It provides culturally nutritious food for those that are food insecure. And it helps build health equity partnerships in communities so they can grow.
With the sudden influx of our Afghan community, we've been able to collaborate with the California Department of Social Services, and we're now implementing a statewide program that serves Afghan families and children to address their needs and help them better integrate into our communities.
اولش واقعا هم تو احساس داشتم که از اجتماع دور بودم، از فامیل اینا دور بودم. آدم که کور و لال باشه اینطوری است که نه گپ زده نمیتونیم که چیزی که نوشته است بخوانیم. اینجا ما تا 4 ماه 5 ماه مثلا دکتر نداشتم، 4 ماه 5 ماه حامله دار بودم که الان دکتر دارم. از اون موقع که من در این دفتر آمدم که برای من وقت دکتر اینا گرفتن دیگه کردن.
We launched the Maestresco program in 2017 to address food insecurity among SNAP CalFresh participants. Participants through this program have the ability to buy fruits and vegetables up to $100 a month. Currently, we have over 15,000 households throughout California benefiting from this program.
What makes the Center for Community Health unique is they are a community-based organization embedded in a university that is taking the knowledge and turning it into action.
We are the bridge between researchers and the community. The research focuses have to come from the community. It's for them, they know the solutions. We're just there to support what they need, and that's the model we want to carry on.
From the very beginning, community members and our partners are engaged in research by the designing, the development, and the dissemination of the findings.
کلاسای زبان میخواید ما یاد بده، کرایه خانه ها کمک میشه و چی میشه. واقعا راضی هستم از این چیز. اینجا مادم یک احساس یک فیلی که یک خانواده دومی که من دارم اینجا هستم، احساس آرامش دارم.
They know what their challenges are and they know what the solutions should be. We hope that this model inspires other academic institutions to do the same and improve health outcomes.
Blanca, Amina, Sheik, Mohamed, Executive Director and Director of the UC San Diego ACTRI Center for Community Health, are advancing health equity through collaborative, community-led initiatives. Congratulations.
California is one of the leading states for LGBT rights, but when you get into smaller communities in the Central Valley, it can be a hostile and violent place for LGBTQ plus people.
There's all sorts of queer people around, yet there was no center here. This idea of the source started.
The source gives people a place to feel like they can come and be themselves. You don't have to go away to be gay. You can stay.
The Source has over 30 programs and services around youth, trans people, people living with HIV. Our biggest program is the Drop-In Center, where people can just hang out in an area where it is often hard to find safe spaces when you're LGBTQ+.
In just 7 years, we've become the largest center between Sacramento and LA.
I was born in Visalia. When I was growing up, I knew I was gay. I knew that I needed to leave the area if I was gonna live a life that I wanted to live.
I could not wait to get out. So I went to LA. I spent the next 30 years acting on television and film.
When I returned, I met Brian, and we bonded over this experience of being back in an area where we couldn't find medical, mental health, and other resources.
So we thought if we could just do a little bit of that, maybe it can make our community safer.
When I was on the Visalia City Council, I heard a couple of local boys were moving home and they were going to open an LGBT plus center. I was very excited about it. They've knocked down a lot of walls and made folks realize that the LGBT community is part of the community.
I first came out to my mom when I was 15. It was not good. She took me to church a lot. At the time I was having some health issues, so they were telling me that I was sick because I was gay. I felt very, very alone. I felt confused and I didn't know who I could talk to. The Source was really the only place that I was able to go to, other than my therapist.
Evidence shows that LGBTQ youth experience rates of suicide much higher than their straight or cis counterparts. We have a mental health program where we partner with our county and other funders to provide free mental health for folks who can't afford it or need a therapist that's LGBT affirming and competent.
We'll figure it out, right?
Our HIV department was developed by folks living with HIV. Folks who are newly diagnosed can now see a doctor within a week instead of waiting up to 4 months. Our trans program was started by the mother of a trans youth.
And he was very accepting. He told me, like, no matter what, I'm still gonna love you.
The Source really did change my life. They helped me open up those doors that I didn't know I had inside. They offered me a job there to help other folks like me. My life experiences have really helped my role at the Source. Now I can make a difference.
This work can be hard, but when you're seeing the changes in people, you're seeing somebody's life is better, somebody's still alive because of the support they found at the Source, that keeps us going.
So please join us in celebrating Brian Poth and Nick Vargas, Executive Director and Director of Development and Strategy of the Source LGBT Plus Center for Fostering Hope, Health, Safety, and Inclusivity for the Central Valley's LGBTQ plus community. Thank you.
We know more and more jobs today require some level of post-secondary higher education. In California, over 2 million students attend a community college, a Cal State, or a University of California. And yet, many students will start at a community college, and the majority of them will not finish.
My family always expected me to go to college. Everything was geared toward that until my senior year of high school, when it sort of fell apart on me. When I did not pass my last semester of math in high school, I got a letter from Humboldt saying that my admission had been revoked. It was devastating, losing that acceptance. I always wanted to leave my hometown, but that meant that I was going to have to go to community college.
The Campaign for College Opportunity has been focused for almost 20 years now on making sure that all Californians have the opportunity to go to college, but that opportunity is only one part of the equation. You have to graduate. We want to close the persistent racial and income gaps that exist in our state that prevent otherwise talented students who are poor or who come from minoritized communities from going to college.
I went to a very low-income, low-resource high school. You could take a class in forklift driving easier than you could take an AP course.
We know that high schools don't always provide the preparation that students need, and that varies by race, ethnicity, by income. We have fought to eliminate the remedial courses that we know are ineffective and the SAT, ACT as a requirement for university admissions. We have pushed for the kind of reforms that ensure that you get put in college level courses with the supports so that you can succeed in those courses. It's been a game changer. We've seen doubling and tripling of Latino and Black students who take community college classes and pass them.
Despite the fact I had not performed well in math, I was able to just go straight into a college level math, which saved years in my education journey and also saved a significant amount of money.
We're all working towards a common cause, and we have passed transformative legislation in our state that now ensures that students have a clear pathway to transfer that was sponsored by now U.S. Senator Alex Padilla when he was in the state Senate.
We work together to make it easier for community college students to transfer to foreign universities and earn their bachelor's degrees. It was revolutionary at the time, and all the credit goes to the campaign for all the work they did to make it possible.
I did very well in community college, and I transferred into UC Berkeley. I double majored in geography and political science. I'm now in the middle of my Master's of Public Policy program. Access to four-year degrees ends up creating hope in a lot of these communities. It means economic equality. It means being able to bring their families up with them.
We still have a long way to go, but the transformative work that we have done to improve transfer, to stop remedial course placement, to stop the abuse of using tests to keep students out of college and classes that they can succeed in, that has been the important work that we continue to champion.
Finally, with her organization, the Campaign for College Opportunity, Michelle Cicado is expanding college access and completion through advocacy, research, and coalition building. Congratulations, Michelle. So join me in welcoming all our wonderful leaders and congratulating all our wonderful leaders tonight. And help us amplify the great work by posting on social media tonight using the hashtag Irvine Awards. And if you see their art, they all actually have unique art that represents them. So if you get a chance, please look at their award. I want to also acknowledge some of my colleagues that are here from the board. Maria Anguigano. Thank you for coming. Brenna Butler-Garcia should be here in the back. And Eliseo Medina. Thank you, Eliseo. And as Tim said, this is one of the things that I enjoy the most as well about what we do. And my fellow colleague on the committee, Charles Field, mentioned this earlier tonight. It's one of the great things that we do at Irvine. So I do want to acknowledge our other committee members who I think are here. Nicole Lim is here. Hendry Ton, Jose Caneros, Dora Westerlin, Mona Pascal Rogers, Charles Sidney Field, and the Irvine staff, Sydney Downing and Kimberly Johnson. And one final note before we close, nominations for the 2025 Leadership Awards are now open. If you know a leader or leadership pair doing innovative work that benefits the people of California, please nominate them. Find out more by going to our website, irvineawards.org. And thank you, everyone. Thank you.